All right, let's talk about something we've all experienced. We're going to pull back the curtain on one of the biggest mysteries of our digital lives. How on earth do streaming services seem to know exactly what we want to watch? Sometimes even before we do. You know the feeling, right? You just finished an amazing episode of a show and boom, instantly a new recommendation pops up that is just perfect. It's that kind of creepy, kind of cool moment where you just have to ask, wait, how did it know I would love that? It feels less like a computer program and way more like it has a sixth sense. So, what's really going on here? Is it just a lucky guess? Or is there something way more sophisticated happening behind the scenes? What we're really talking about is a powerful kind of prediction that has totally changed the game for how we find new things to watch. It makes everything feel like it was handpicked, just for us. And as much as it feels like some kind of digital mind reading, what's actually happening is, you could argue, even more impressive. It's not magic, not at all. It's a system, a really, really smart one that's working 24/7. And here it is. The system at the very heart of all this is called a Marketing Information System, or MIS for short. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like the platform's central brain. Its whole job is to gather up all the little puzzle pieces of our viewing habits, put them all together to see the big picture, and then use that picture to make smart decisions, like, queuing up your next favorite show. Okay, so how does this quote-unquote brain actually work? Well, it's basically a simple, continuous three-step loop. First up, it has to gather data. I mean, tons of it. Without that raw material, it's got nothing to work with. Next, it analyzes all that data to find hidden patterns and connections. This is the part where simple information gets turned into real intelligence. And finally, that intelligence is used to guide the company's strategy. It turns what it's learned into real-world action. So, where is all this data coming from? Well, pretty much everywhere. Seriously, it's not just about what you click play on. It's a whole mix of things, like direct feedback from customer surveys, big picture trends from market research firms, and yeah, even what people are buzzing about on social media. Every little bit of data, no matter how small it seems, gets funneled into the system to build a super detailed picture of what we, the audience, are all about. But look, having a mountain of raw data is one thing. It's totally useless if you can't make sense of it. And that's where technologies like big data and artificial intelligence are an absolute game changer. AI can sift through millions and millions of data points to find these weirdly specific connections that a human just never would. Like discovering that people who love a certain sci-fi show also happen to binge a specific kind of documentary. That right there, that's the secret sauce behind those predictions that feels so spot on. And this is where you can really see just how much things have changed. Think about the old way. Marketing was basically like shouting into a huge crowd and just hoping the right people were listening. Companies had to make these big, broad guesses about what huge groups of people wanted. But today, thanks to these systems, it's like they can have a one-on-one conversation with you. They don't have to guess anymore because they have a pretty darn good idea of what you, as an individual, actually want. And these insights, they have this huge ripple effect across the entire business. It's not just about what shows up in your recommendation feed. Oh no. This is the stuff that decides which new shows get the green light in the first place. It influences how much a subscription costs. It decides which movie trailer you're going to see. And it even helps optimize how the video gets to your screen without buffering. Pretty much every major decision is being informed by this data. So what's the end game here? What's the ultimate goal of all this work? Well, it really just boils down to one thing: keeping you happy and keeping you subscribed. By constantly giving you content you're going to love, they build loyalty. It creates this really powerful loop, right? The more you watch, the better they get to know you, and the better they know you, the more likely it is you're going to stick around. Of course, we have to talk about the flip side. Collecting all this personal info comes with a huge responsibility, and managing that data ethically, well, it's not just about following privacy laws to check a box. For these companies, it's an absolutely critical part of their business. They have to maintain our trust, because if that trust gets broken, the whole system, everything we've been talking about, just starts to crumble. Which brings us to a final, really important question that we all have to think about. As this technology just keeps getting smarter and more personal, where do we draw the line? At what point does a helpful suggestion cross over and start feeling a little too helpful? Like an invasion of your privacy. It's a conversation we all need to be having because these systems are only going to get more and more integrated into our lives.